It is day number 35 of vlogging for 20 minutes a day for 365 days. No edits, no filters, whatever happens, happens. And this one's a doozy because we are back in Canada. And there's a lot that has happened even though we've only been back for 2 days. Let me start by saying these videos are about donating back to charity and creating community here. So if you are somebody who enjoys donating to charity, it doesn't have to be a lot of money, just a little tiny bit. It will go a long way. The reason why this is so passionate to me is because when I was a kid, I was somebody who needed charity, whether it was food, clothes, or something along those lines. I wound up being one of the kids who received those things. I'm not hateful or I don't feel hurt by the fact that that happened in my past, but now that I'm in a position to be able to give back, that's what I want to do. And so that's what this channel is all about. I want to raise $1,000 every single month to give back to some type of charity. And I need your help to do it because I can't donate $1,000 every single month. I wish I could. If I was in that position, it would be great. But I can use this platform to potentially do that with the help of you guys. I've already donated $50. This charity is No Kid Hungry. And I know I was one of the kids that didn't want to go hungry way back when I was a youngin'. And we used churches and other things to be able to get fed. We also were on some type of, welfare, say, or food stamps that helped us get fed. So I'm not in that position anymore. So I'm really fortunate and grateful that, those things were around when I was a kid. And so hopefully we could give back. By supporting this channel, you're doing that. And so whatever we could come up with, so far we've came up with over $670 worth of donations. And we're trying to get to 1,000. So if I have to donate the rest of it, I will, but I need your help so that way I don't have to come so much out of my pocket. But I will do it. And then next month, we're going to do a different charity. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but Alex is going to pick it because it is her birthday month. Now, for the bad news, there's two things. One, we came back to Canada so I could get my knee surgery done. I had 4 days in between returning and the surgery. Unfortunately, I needed to be here 7 days before because they call you the week of 7 days before and they give you, they get information from you that they need from the hospital. Unfortunately, I wasn't here for that and my service was down because we were in Portugal. So they've put me back on the list. Right now, the date might be June 1st, maybe, and they put me on a cancellation list. So if somebody else cancels, they'll call me next and I'll be able to take over that spot. But it definitely throws a wrench in our plans and it changes up everything. So with that being said, we're kind of in a situation where we got to figure it out and that's okay. And we will. June 1st, then I only have 12 days before we are going to a meetup. And that will be hard because I'm not really supposed to put a lot of weight on my leg or anything like that. So I don't know how we're going to go about this. I'll be able to drive the vehicle and get us to where we got to go. But Alex will have to be the one that, sets the trailer up and does all these things. And I don't know what kind of state I'm going to be in when we're there with people who are coming to meet us. And I'm sure everything's going to be great and fine. And I'm looking forward to getting the knee surgery because I want to be able to get back into playing sports again and doing all these things and running around without, being a little bit scared that my knee's going to go out and potentially injure other things. So I am looking forward to that. But right now, as you can see, I'm standing in our small trailer. This is our travel trailer. And I'm trying to get it set up and ready for that day. One of the challenges I have, I let the 48 volt system die. And unfortunately, by doing that, I've put it into protection mode. And I don't have a 48 volt trickle charger. So I'm mostly likely going to have to purchase that. And here's why. I set up this 48 volt battery setup right here. And then I tried to jump the other one because that one's connected to the RV5. But it doesn't seem to want to come on and stay on without giving me any type of error codes. And so with that being said, I can't trickle charge it because the BMS is holding it out. So I have to go and buy a 48 volt charger to be able to get the system back up and running, which is kind of a pain in the butt because I have 12 volt and 24 volt ones, and now I just got to buy another product to be able to start this thing up. And as much as that sucks, it is what it is, and I got to do it. So those are my two dilemmas right now when it comes to my knee and this project. Now we have another 40-foot trailer that's going to be our full-time home. At least 3/4 of the year, that's where we would live. And the fact of the matter is we can't live out of it right now because one of the slide outs has mold in it. And that means we have to cut out the base of it and potentially get a whole nother system, a whole nother piece of wood in there and set up. Hello, my love. You are on the vlog. Yeah, I'm doing the vlog, and I'm trying to get this RV5 started, which isn't working, even though I was able to set it up to potentially work. It's just holding out, so I need to buy a 48-volt trickle charger.
Do you want to just ask David if he has one?
I asked him. He doesn't have one. Yeah, I have 12 and 24-volt ones, but I don't have a 48-volt one. Yeah, fun.
How much is it?
Probably somewhere around 100 to 200 Canadian dollars. Cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's just the battery's so dead the system won't start?
Yeah, like even when I try to put the other one into it, it's not like I can't even configure it to make it charge, you know?
Ew.
Yeah, I can't even force it to charge.
Ew. Okay, well, whatever. Send me the link and I'll buy it.
Yeah, okay. I will do that.
Also, I'm hungry and Everly is sick and...
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Everly's sick. Alex is hungry. I'm also hungry. What do you want to do for lunch?
I had a really small sandwich like 3 hours ago.
Oh. You know what I've had?
I made you soup. I left it out. You said I'm not hungry.
I've had nothing so far.
You had soup, but you didn't eat it.
I forgot it was there.
Okay, Everly's calling me. I gotta go.
All right, I love you. I'll see you in a bit.
Love you, bye.
All right, bye. So yeah, this is my life. This is what happens. This is just the way things draw themselves up sometimes. And it's cool because like, you know, now I got to figure it out and like I'm into that. I like that. But also at the same time, I don't want to have to figure it out right now. I want to do a lot of other things. But tasks are put in front of us, and we have to do what we can to fix them. And I'm doing what I can to fix this. And what I'm thinking is, if I actually turn off this, then that might help because that's the DC battery side. So that comes to here and runs this whole panel. And I'm wondering maybe all these things might potentially be hurting the potential startup. I could hook up those batteries again, arc out the battery, because that's what's happening every time when you put the 48 volt to this 48 volt, it arcs it. Yeah. So that's that. I wish there was a quick, easy solution, but unfortunately there is not. And even like when it comes to power tools and stuff, I have nothing that's 48 volts. Everything that I have is 12, 18, everything but 48 volts. Yeah. So that's my dilemma. This is where I'm stuck. But you can see I set up these batteries to be parallel. I checked the voltage on them just to make sure it was the proper voltage. It was showing 53 volts, which is what a 48 volt would show. And I'm just not getting the, it's not trickle charging this system. Maybe these BMSs are locking out from that BMS. I don't know exactly. And that's the hard part. The RV5 wants to stay on. It must have the capacitor and it must be like locked into the on position. It's just blinking because it really, really wants to wake up. Okay, so I will do some looking up to figure out what it is I actually have to do. And so I'll give you a little bit of, if you don't know who I am, my name is Frankie. My wife is Alex. And my daughter is Everly. And we have a little dog named Paco. He's amazing. And we're so happy to be back with him. We just traveled through Portugal for a little while. That was incredible. And so now we have tons of projects that we have to do back home. And this place is an absolute mess. I got to finish the shower. I got to pull down these walls to see what type of potential mold is behind these walls, because we didn't finish them before we put them up. And so since they weren't finished, behind the walls sweated a little bit, and that sweat created mold. And that's why we came home in this. So we have 2 trailers, and both trailers have some potential mold in them. Fun, I know. But this is the price you pay when you want to live a lifestyle like this. And I'm not complaining. I'm just simply telling you what I'm going through. And this trailer is dope. Like when it's set up and we're moving around and we're doing all the things, it's super wide open in the middle here. Alex and I could easily cross by each other, which is amazing. A lot of the like RVs and vans and stuff like that we typically get from a rental company, they're really tight. And as when you're renting it, that's perfectly fine. But to live in full time, that's not a fun situation. So we always build these with that in mind, that we have room and space and the ability to move. And everything in here was working quite great when we were traveling. The oven was great. Everything was really, really well done. Just the real problem, was that mold that happened. We were very comfortable living in here. Big back windows. Everything was really breathable in the sense of like summertime. But then when winter comes and we have to try to heat the space, there wasn't enough ventilation to pull that moisture out. And we were getting too much of a delta T on the aluminum, and then the aluminum was sweating. This is Everly's little room right here, which is pretty cool because a bed goes in here, and she's plenty small enough to fit in here. It's a really big space. And then this slides shut to give her her own room. And we'll eventually probably put a door here and all that. But we were able to have a separate space from Everly when we were living in here. We were able to hang out in this back area while she was sleeping up front here and be able to still work and do things and hang out and even invite people over when she was sleeping, because that separation allowed us, space and to give her her own space. And she would play in here. And this front area is pretty open when everything is cleaned up for her to play in. And then the thing about living and traveling in a trailer is you don't spend all your time in the trailer, you spend it outside. So there's tons of outside play when we're in here. And I love that. I love it for her. I love it for us. It's beautiful. So we need to get everything back in working order so that way we could travel once again, because that's what, when we were in Portugal in the van, it really reminded us how much we love it, how much we want that lifestyle. I owe you guys another 6 minutes of hanging out because the mic died, and I was talking the whole time and the mic was completely dead, and I wasn't able to get the point across about the woodwork. So basically all I was trying to say is when you do woodwork, a lot of it comes to finishing at the end. When you finish at the end and you clean everything up, that's when it looks beautiful. So as you're doing woodwork, it's going to feel like, ooh, this looks not so great. And then you're going to realize, oh, okay, it just all comes in the finishing touches. It's like even up here on the roof and everything, that's all going to get little pieces to close that all up and make it look good. But here's why we came home. So back here, you see that little bit of mold there on the wall. That's why we came back home. So we got to get rid of this mold. Oh, look at that, a little spider came. What are you doing, buddy? We're gonna have to get rid of you. So we bought an ozone machine. That should take care of the mold behind the walls. I still am going to remove a wall and see what that looks like. But I think that this isn't going to be a winter rig because we had the issue in the wintertime. And during the summer, there was no issue whatsoever. So I think that we're going to have to make this rig be just a summer rig, unfortunately. Or let's say fall, summer, and spring. Those three. I did that kind of backwards. I'm dyslexic, so just bear with me. Those are the times where we'll be utilizing this and renting it out per se. But we have to get it all ready and complete to be able to rent it out. But yeah, going back to like the woodwork, like even all these little edges and everything will be finished eventually. We just need time. And now that we have about a month, there's a whole nother project that I got to take care of before we finish this. And that's the hideout. That's our 40-something foot trailer. That's going to be our full-time home. And to get that done is the most important because we need to be out of Alex's parents' house by June 1st because they are going to be hosting and helping musicians who are coming to the area for, I think, the summertime to perform and put on, performance arts type of things. And so they come and they need housing. And so they're going to house those people. So we're going to get out of the room that we're in and move back into our trailer, which is what our plan was anyway. It just kind of gives us a little, you got to get this done. And so my surgery being pushed back kind of gives us that opportunity to do it. And we got to get on it. But what I was trying to do is get this setup working real quick so that way we could go explore and go to those events without any issues. And I could potentially take off these solar panels and bring them over to the hideout so that way we could use the air conditioning and do all those things with the setup that we have and not have to worry about power. Now, in order to get this going, I had an epiphany. I don't know if I said it in the first part of this video. So my epiphany is this. I have a charge controller that actually does 48 volts. So what I could do is I could go in and I could get all the panels and I could set it up to where it's charging a 48 volt system. And with that being said, I think instead of having to buy this whole other charge controller, I could use this MPPT controller to be able to charge that battery throughout the day tomorrow and then hook it all back up, and it should have enough power to be able to turn that system back on, and then our 120 should be able to charge it at that point. Ideas. My brain is starting to make things happen. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to jet over to the other place, disconnect that whole setup. It should be really pretty quick and simple to do. And I'll be able to get on my way and, make this happen. Do you guys think that's a good plan? Instead of spending a couple $100, I'm trying to use my innovation because that couple $100 could go to charity. So I'm trying to use my innovation to be able to save that money for something better. Okay, comment of the day. Not gonna lie, Everly's filming made me laugh and be seasick all at the same time. My eyes are still spinning. Have a safe journey home. Yeah, that's why I tried getting the camera away from her, because she was making my head spin too. And I could only imagine how bad it was for you guys. But she's so cute and so fun. Like you said, just seeing her, like her interaction with life is really cool from her level, from her height. And one of these days when she understands how the camera works and that people on the other side are actually viewing, I think she knows that a little bit, but she doesn't know that you can't do this with the camera. So we will work on that. As we're working on that, I will mic her up because I do want to see like what her thoughts are and like what her interaction with the world is in her own, because she's always like doing these little babbling and like things along those lines. And it's really cute to see. So I'm looking forward to the day that I get to mic her up and throw a little camera on her. Maybe I'll put like a little head camera on her, like when she's riding a bike or something. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that's been our 20 minutes, and we'll see you tomorrow.